Two girls get stuck on top of a tower and try to get help but keep failing. Secrets start to uncover one after another and makes the already nightmare even worse. You'll have to stick around to the end to see how the whole story unfolds. Hello and welcome to Comedy Recap. Today we will give you a recap of the film Fall. Spoilers ahead, obviously. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. The movie starts with three friends, Becky, Dan, and Shiloh, mount climbing and experiencing the thrill that it gives. They push through and try to climb to the surface of the mountain. Dan encounters some bats flying towards his face when he tries to attach his rope to the rock. This makes him lose control and fall. His rope then detaches and he falls to his death. Now, 51 weeks later, Becky sits home and now drinks. She later goes to a party and then meets with her father, who confronted her outside the club. He tries to bring Becky out of her miserable life, but Becky rejects to listen. She then runs away, telling her father to leave her alone, and goes back to drinking with some pills mixed in it. Later, Shiloh comes to meet her and tries to calm her. Shiloh then shows her a picture of a heighted tower that was 6 hours away. She then tells her to go with her and climb it, to move past her fear of climbing. The next day, Becky wakes up and goes to meet Shiloh, who is making breakfast. She then tells that she was ready to go with her to the tower. The girls then celebrate and prepared for their journey and then left. They arrived at the dinner at night and ate dinner while collecting info about the tower. The next day, Becky dreamt that Dan was sleeping beside her, but then woke up. She then went to Shiloh and they both continued their journey to the tower. They then encountered a closed gate and decided to walk the rest of the journey. Now they were walking under the scorching heat when they saw a pair of vultures snacking on a dead animal carcass. They finally reached the tower and Shiloh started recording herself and stated that the tower was about 1,800 feet high and the fourth highest structure in the US. Becky got scared and tried to back off when Shiloh calmed her down and made her strong. She then started to climb while Becky slowly followed her. The girls continued to climb while the rusty structure of the tower started to tremble. The girls now finally climbed about 1,600 feet off the tower when Becky stared at the view and started to panic again. She very bravely calmed herself down and started to climb again. Some steps later, the girls faced a barrier on the tower. Well, they moved around it and they continued again. A bolt then mysteriously launched out of the rusty ladder, making it looser. The girls finally reached the top and started celebrating, when Shiloh decided to hang from the edge. She climbed back and then told Becky to do the same to finally cross her fears. Becky finally hanged and faced her fear. Becky then got her box from her bag that contained Dan's ashes. She then spilled the box and let the ashes flow freely with the wind. The girls now decided to climb back down, with Becky going first. Becky stepped down on the ladder when the ladder lost its connection and tumbled. Becky now hanged midair with the rope that was attached to Shiloh, who bravely and cleverly pulled on the rope to get Becky back to safety. They then started to laugh in excitement.
Did I really just happen? Oh, Jesus Christ.
But soon stopped when they realized that there was no ladder. Shiloh started to take pictures after feeling that there was nothing else to do, and then realized that Becky had gotten injured in the leg. She then thought to hang the phone down with the rope to send a message for help, since there was no signal on top, but there were at the bottom. The first plan failed when they decided to stuff the phone in socks and a shoe and then throw it down to send the message on it. A man with a dog passed around the tower when the dog found the shoe, but the phone had broken. The girls started to scream for help, but failed to make the man realize that the dog heard them since it had strong hearing. The girls threw another shoe at the man, but he couldn't care less and left. The girls now felt betrayed, even though the man wasn't even to blame. They then saw a caravan far away through the binoculars and decided to shoot their flare when it got dark a little. The time came and they shot it, which finally got the people's attention. The people drove their caravan to the car, which made the girls hopeful. The girls got crushed to see that the guys stole their car rather than helping them. Now they sat hopelessly at the top when Shiloh revealed to Becky that she had slept with Dan behind her back, since he made her feel happy and was different from any other guy she had dated before. Things got awkward between the two, but that didn't stop the girls to help each other out of this misery. Shiloh realized that they wouldn't survive without water, and decided to descend the water bag that was on the lower level. She went down and made a jump at the end to finally reach the bag. Then they tried and then succeeded to hang the bag to the rope. Later she jumped and grabbed onto the rope. She tried to climb the rope when a sleight of hand led her to slip and fall back to the bottom of the rope. Becky got scared of what happened, but found out that her friend had survived but had broken her hand. She then pulled her friend back onto the top to safety. The girls then decided to send a written message attached to the drone, but failed due to its battery running low. Later, Becky had a nightmare in which she saw Shiloh being eaten by some vultures, which made her freak out. She then woke up and saw that her friend was safe and sound right beside her. Becky then thought of a brilliant plan of charging the drone with the electric wires that were at the top of the pole. She gulped the water they had left and started to climb the pole. She reached the top but was unable to fit the charger on the socket when her friend suggested using her ring. She placed the ring before the charger and finally made the charging possible. And then descended back down. The girls now waited impatiently, and then finally flew the drone as far as they could. Becky controlled the drone and tried to fly it right at the diner, but a truck drastically crashed right into it. The driver didn't read the note on the drone and left. Now the girls sat at the top, completely hopeless and out of solutions. Becky asked her friend for her shoe, when Shiloh denied it, and explained that she couldn't, since she was dead at the barrier below. She then showed her face, which was half bleeding. Becky then looked down at the barrier and saw her friend's dead body, which was being eaten by the vultures. Becky now had lost all her will to survive and started to think about her worried father. Sometime later, a vulture flew toward her and started nibbling at her wound. Becky slowly moved her hand and then grabbed the bird by its neck. She snapped its neck and then ate its raw meat. After devouring the most dangerous bird, she now felt like one. She then descended to her friend's body and scared the vulture away by using her sharp gaze. She now cried over her friend's body and then stuffed it with her shoe that had her phone inside it. She then pushed the body over the edge and prayed for the best. Now we see her worried father driving to the tower's location. When he reached the location, he finds out that a dead body was being covered with a sheet. He assumed that it was her daughter and was about to cry when he heard someone scream "Dad" from the other side. He looked at the ambulance, and from there, his daughter Becky came running to him and hugged him. She now finally felt safe, and at the same time free from the fear that kept her miserable after her boyfriend's death. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.